Microsoft at one point wanted to buy EA, Square Enix, Midway, and Nintendo. Nintendo buys Next Level Games? Twitch bans Pogchamp. The Xbox Series XS rumors have started to fly around. All that and more in this rather busy episode of the Miikcast Station. Hi guys, DPX here, reporting today the news on the Miikcast Station. Let's get into this. So, very recently, the new generation of video game consoles began, and Microsoft has their Xbox Series X and their Xbox Series S. The Series X is the more powerful successor to the Xbox One, while the Series S is a cheaper, discless, less powerful version of the Series X. But I'm not trying to drive you away from this. I mean, like, it's less powerful, probably more in the way of the Switch Lite to the Switch, alright? However, there has been a recent patent that surfaced for the Xbox Series SX, which is apparently supposed to be just as powerful as the Series X, but without a disk drive. So this one's gonna be more like the difference between the PS5 physical versus digital version. Not much else is known here, and it shouldn't be too different from the Series X aside from it being digital only. I don't know how much cheaper than the Series X it'll be, as it's supposed to be more powerful than the Series S, but that one, the Series S, is a full $100 cheaper. So who knows? What do you guys think about the Xbox Series SX? I don't know what other footage to show you here, so you'll just have to deal with a still image. Anyways, Twitch has many emotes you can use to put in a chat for a stream. And one very popular emote is Pogchamp, which is what you see right now, in case you don't know somehow. However, Twitch removed that emote. This was because of the man behind the face, Ryan Gutex Gutierrez, a fighting game personality, apparently encouraged further violence after what took place at the US Capitol earlier this week. I don't want to get into all that. This is according to Twitch themselves, but then he went off the rails a bit more and it all became a bit of a PR nightmare for Twitch. They removed the emote altogether. What do you guys think about the removal of Pogchamp? We got two things involving the Persona series. One thing is that the soundtrack for all the games have made it to Spotify earlier this week. This isn't something you see many other game companies do, so to see Atlus put songs from their series is quite a cool thing to see. That and Persona 5 Royal is officially the highest ranked game of 2020. What I mean is, of all the games that came out last year, Persona 5 Royal got the best reviews, with just about every review outlet giving the game a perfect score. Seriously, I don't think I've seen a single review that wasn't a perfect score. What do you guys think about Persona 5 Royal being the best reviewed game of 2020? Or how about Atlus putting the Persona soundtracks on Spotify? Let me know down below. Wow, look at this. Cyberpunk makes the news again, but it's not about the state it was released in, don't worry. It's actually the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 will be getting free DLC. What will this DLC be? Who knows? Maybe it can be more missions, maybe more upgrades. Those details haven't been revealed yet, but it's supposed to come in early 2021, which, I mean, is kind of right now. But I am a bit iffy on whether or not that'll actually happen so soon due to the state of the game at release. CD Projekt Red should focus more on patching up the game and then worry about DLC. Also, they debunked the rumors of the free DLC being the cut content from the game. What do you guys think about Cyberpunk 2077 getting free DLC? One of Nintendo's biggest franchises is definitely the Kirby series, and I enjoy those games a lot. Well, there have been many rumors recently of a new Kirby game to come out this year. Now, it was simply just teased by HAL Laboratory, and they just stated in an interview that what they would like to have in 2021, but it makes a lot of sense to have a new Kirby game on the Switch this year. Nintendo's 2021, aside from Super Mario 3D World, seems to be very quiet, and they haven't really been revealing much at all. And on top of that, Kirby's last game was Star Allies, which was 3 years ago, and while it was fun, it wasn't long enough to justify a $60 price tag. But if they made a new Kirby game this year, and either don't charge $60 for it, or charge $60 for it but make it longer and make it worth $60, I think we could have a really good Kirby game in our hands. What do you guys think? One game that seems kinda interesting, but at the same time I keep forgetting about it, is Outriders. It seems like an online third-person shooter developed by People Can Fly, who did Bulletstorm. They developed Bulletstorm, and the game is going to be published by Square Enix. However, it was scheduled for the fourth quarter of 2020, but then got delayed to 2021. February 2021. But now, it recently just got delayed again to an unspecified date. It's probably due to some, maybe the game needs some extra polish, which after seeing, not for me, but after seeing with Cyberpunk and how that turned out, I think all companies know now. But this is the game's third delay, so that can either be a really good thing or a really bad thing. There will be a free demo though to sort of compensate for the delay. What do you guys think about all this? In 2015, the gaming world was shocked to find out about the passing of Satoru Iwata, who was at the time the president of Nintendo and one of the biggest and most influential faces in the gaming industry. He also had a book that he wrote called Ask Iwata, Words of Wisdom from Satoru Iwata, Nintendo's legendary CEO. But the book has never made it outside of Japan, probably due to issues with his passing. Well, good news, as Ask Iwata is finally coming stateside, and is expected on April 13th of this year, which ain't too far away. It's just good to hear that, it's finally coming out. What do you guys think, though? Are you interested in this book? A while back on this series, I reported that Resident Evil will be getting a new Netflix series. Well, it is set to start shooting very soon. Not only that, it will also have some new characters and will be a prequel to the games. As long as they make it interesting, they don't ruin, some of the continuity, because it runs the risk of doing that. And these new characters have to be interesting. And of course, if they're going to start shooting very soon, I think they have to obviously take proper safety precautions. That's really all I got for this one. Not that much, but it's just very interesting. What do you guys think? Next Level Games, a game developer most known for their work on many Nintendo games like Luigi's Mansion, all the games, the Mario Strikers games, and Punch-Out Wii, which are all really good games. They also did work on a bunch of shitty licensed games, as well as Metroid Prime Federation Force, but we don't talk about those. Well, Nintendo just acquired them, and now Next Level Games is a first-party developer for Nintendo. This is, I think, really cool news, as Next Level Games have made some great games for Nintendo. So now they can make even more great games for Nintendo. The only thing here, though, is that by reading this news, I was sort of just reminded of the fact that Nintendo didn't already own Next Level Games. But what do you guys think about this? Do you like this acquisition? And last but certainly not least for today, speaking of studio acquisitions, Microsoft has a bit of a reputation of doing that with a whole list of studios like Rareware, Mojang, Double Fine, Bethesda, and I can go on. Bethesda obviously being the biggest, but there were 4 other big game publishers they once tried to buy. First, there was EA, who was the first company Microsoft tried to acquire. This was before they started making, the Xbox. And obviously, nothing came from this. The craziest part, though, about this comes next, as Microsoft then tried to buy Nintendo. Yup. In fact, when Nintendo was approached by Microsoft about the acquisition, Nintendo, laughed their asses off, and Microsoft got laughed out of the room. After a failed attempt at buying EA, and then another failed attempt at buying Nintendo, Microsoft then tried to acquire Square Enix, but that didn't work out. And then Microsoft tried to acquire Midway, who, if you don't know, they are the old publisher of the Mortal Kombat games that formed into NetherRealm and now are a developer for WB Games. That didn't really happen though, as Microsoft doesn't own them. Nothing came of these attempted acquisitions, but it's just very interesting to know that Microsoft tried to buy EA, Square Enix, Midway, and Nintendo. What do you guys think about this, though? Anyways, that was this episode of the Miikcast Station, the first of 2021. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hope you found some of this stuff fascinating. Anyways, see you guys.